Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, our speaker this morning is Dr. Dan Wagner. And Dan graduated from the Duquesne School of Pharmacy and was a pharmacist for a long time. He got his doctorate in pharmacy in 2000 from Ohio Northern University. He now specializes in alternative medicines and is consultant to the medical community for people that can't take any more drugs. But Dan, I have to warn you, today we had scheduled a canine dog. And a lot of people asked me if the dog was coming, so I don't want you to be offended that you're replacing a dog. Okay. But with that, please give Dan a warm welcome.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for the invitation. It's really a great opportunity to come and speak to your group. I need to recognize first my friend and mentor, Dr. Bob Ford. What a wonderful guy he is. You know, I first went with him. He invited the first pharmacist ever on his World Health mission in 1995, so I went probably 10 times with him. And after about 2006 or 7, I formed my own team and went 7 or 8 times myself. So it's a great experience in life. And Bob is so well known over there. He's so respected. So anyway, welcome. And Bob knows what they say in Nigeria is Sanuku. And Sanuku means you're welcome. Now think about that. Because in America, we use it as a response. Thank you, you're welcome. But they don't do that in Nigeria. They use it as an initiation. They say you're welcome, not as a response, but as an initiation. So it's another way of thinking things. Anyway, today I want to talk a little bit about clinical medicine versus alternative medicine. Because so many people, 69% of Americans are really open to taking something alternative. Let's think of the word alternative. It's not a negative term at all. What is allopathic medicine? It's only 3 things. It's drugs, surgery, and psychotherapy. So anything beyond that would be considered alternative. Going to the chiropractor, taking a vitamin, doing homeopathy, getting a massage, seeing an acupuncturist. And you know, Americans today spend more money on that out of their pocket than you do on the medical profession. And so, you know, it's big business. So it's important as far as me as a background in medicine, but also a lot of alternative, to kind of have a foot in both worlds, because it's very relevant today. If somebody comes up and says to the pharmacist, because they're very accessible, or their doctor, hey doc, I'm on blood pressure medicine, I'm taking thyroid medicine, I'm on cumin, and is it okay if I take this cold tablet? What about magnesium? What about if I take some echinacea? That's a relevant question, because 69 to 70% of Americans are doing it. Who's answering those questions? That's a problem, because it's not taught in med school, it's not taught in pharmacy school, it's not taught in nursing school. So, most of these people that get into this are self-taught. Now, I've been fortunate over the last many years to, my real passion in this is medicinal plants. So I've worked a lot in rainforest areas, mostly in the Amazon, but also in Africa. And I've probably been there 50 or 60 times in the last 20, 25 years. So I'm not there to discover the cure for HIV and cancer. That's not happening. But we're there to look at what some of these indigenous people can tell us. So green medicine to me means looking back at the rudimentary beginnings of medicine. Ancient China, Persia, Africa, Native Americans. They used the roots, the herbs, the fruit, the bark, anything in their day to heal people, right? Now today that's evolved to this modern medical phenomenon we call the pharmaceutical industry. And I'm telling you, there's reasons to go back to nature, and we see it all the time. Because we still have really big problems with fungal infections. Of course, we haven't done much with HIV, cancer, so many more. And I'm not saying that the answer is in the rainforest. I believe it is, but I don't know if the hospitals are going to believe that. See if I get this right.
Second button.
There we go. But these indigenous people have a lot of knowledge. I mean, I've probably commiserated with a good 10 or 12 authentic shamans in my life, mostly in Peru, Ecuador, and Belize. And let me tell you, these people have a lot of knowledge. The one guy, this shouldn't be moving by itself. So the one guy, some of the guys that I've met, he knew 10,000 different plants in his mind, in his brain, but he didn't know how to read or write. So when he died, it's sort of like the library burned down. So if he doesn't, and I've worked with a group called the American Botanical Council that tries to take this information and document it, because these people do have a lot of knowledge. If I'm in the rainforest and I get appendicitis, take me to the closest emergency room. If I get a snake bite, I might want to go see the juju man, because I might have a better chance. So we can't dismiss it because of their background. Well, I'm telling you, I've seen some wondrous things, and this knowledge is valuable, because still about 20 to 25% of all the drugs out there behind the counters are coming from natural and semi-natural sources, and mostly the rainforest. What these shamans say, I remember the one saying to us, he's from Belize. He was pretty famous. He died at 102. Alike Opanti was his name. When he died, he had a write-up in the New York Times because he was so famous. He was from Belize in Central America. And I remember him saying to our group, because I've taken students down to study medicinal plants for 17 years, American students from colleges. And he said, the cure for all diseases is out there in the rainforest. God put it there. It's our job to find it. That's what he said. So, let's move on. So, some of the goals today of health and wellness, and we'll just touch upon them, would just be this state of well-being, balancing stress. Stress is such a big problem today. And it's not just stress from emotions. We're in a really emotional country. I mean, let's face it, we love our country, but everybody's stressed out in America just about. But it could be stress from the environment. Okay, you could be the calmest guy in the world, but if you're working in an office with cigarette smoke, duct work that's full of contaminants, Roundup, pesticides, it's a big problem. And that's a stress too. Cognition's important, illness, dietary improvements. I don't really give diets. I don't believe in diets. I believe in balance of alkaline acid. I'm going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. And of course, family quality is important. So the targets of this optimal nutrition become biochemical balance, mitochondrial. Now, let's talk about that in a second, because what I want to kind of lean on today a little bit is wellness. Now, there was an article I read by a pretty smart researcher, and he said, everybody's looking for the fountain of youth, right? How can we live longer? How can we go into old age feeling better? Well, what he said was kind of interesting, because there is no Fountain of Youth, the Pension de Lawn, whatever his name was, never found it. Because the Fountain of Youth is not out there. It's in here. And the three aspects of this, without a doubt, are number one, DNA. Now, I don't know a lot about DNA. It's tricky business. If you want to learn a lot about DNA, who's the best? Brian, who wrote the book Biology of Belief. Okay. Brian Lipton, this guy's great. But all I know about DNA is it can be changed. And it can be changed by perception, intent. Number two, mitochondria. Mitochondria is the energy part of the cell. I need gasoline in my gas tank to make my car engine run. The mitochondria for the cell is the powerhouse of the cell. And remember, we have trillions of cells, not billions of cells, trillions of cells. The only thing we have in our body more than cells is what? Bacteria. We have 10 times more bacteria. So basically, we're big sacks of bacteria. But most of it, 90-95%, is good guys, not the bad guys. Antibiotics kill the bad guys, they kill all the good guys. Which comes into, and when I think about mitochondria, is the things that feed mitochondria, no doubt about it. One is coenzyme Q10. You know if you're taking statin drugs, you should take CoQ10. You should take it anyway. You're over 50, we all need it. It's good for heart. It's like the gasoline for the gas tank. But also things like minerals. Minerals are much more important than vitamins. We're made of minerals. My number one recommendation, especially for women, everybody I see, magnesium, magnesium, magnesium. We need it. That's just low in our diet. Not that it's more important. It's not more important. It's more needed. Now the third aspect of this is what I want to talk more about today. Microbiome. Microbiome is the gut. Now when I studied botanical medicine in Switzerland from a Dr. Rao, he's the head of the Paracelsus Clinic over there, and he's a rheumatologist, and they have like 80 professionals there, and they treat a lot of people with autoimmune diseases and cancer and so forth that we're not having success with. Of course, it takes a little money to get over there, but they have a really interesting place in Switzerland, and they're not kind of controlled by the EU so much, so they have a little bit more autonomy. Now he gets up in his German accent and he says, it's all about the milieu, and the milieu is the environment of the gut. This is so important, because 70 to 75% of our whole immune system is in the gut, not the stomach, the gut. Yes, it's liver, lymph, spleen, thymus, but the gut is it. Think of it, the way I tell people is I say, think about a garden. I have this garden, I want my vegetables to grow. I water them, I give them some good fertilizer, but what do I get in my garden? Weeds. Weeds in the gut is the problem, 70-75% of the time. Yes, it can be colitis, it can be diverticulitis, it can be constipation. The weeds in the garden can be cancer, arthritis, heart disease, migraines. It's about the weeds. I just read this morning on this Google thing about 90 to 95% of serotonin is in the gut. Serotonin is what, our happy hormone, right? I never knew it was that much. So if you have a happy gut, you're going to be a happy person. So maybe the best thing for depression is get the gut straightened out and not taking a lot of drugs. Okay, we mentioned stress, chronic degeneration, which is a real problem. And this is where we get into autoimmunity. It's really interesting what comes up with autoimmunity. Because these autoimmune drugs, you know, there's 85 of them, and you say to your doctor, well, doc, how did I get Hashimoto's or lupus or RA or diabetes, multiple sclerosis? And of course the answer I learned, and we all learned if we were in med school or whatever, was the same answer. Well, your body's attacking itself. Well, we accepted that. Well, you know, sometimes it takes somebody who's completely outside of the profession to look and say, let's think differently. We always got this learning, and Bob will attest to it. You know, we go to med school, pharmacy school, we get this great education, have a good career, but you know, it's a little like orthodoxy. Don't color outside the lines, okay? This is the religion you're raised with. Just believe everything we tell you and don't ask any questions. That's the way med schools are today. Because I know with UPMC, some of these doctors who want to do a little bit different, they really get scolded. It's a problem. So yes, I'm one of those guys that color outside the line. There's no doubt about it. And sometimes that's worked for me when I taught at Duquesne, sometimes it didn't. But that's just the way I am. But you know, we had to think that way. So here's a guy, Anthony William, wrote a best-selling book a couple years ago. He's called The Medical Medium. Big New York Times bestseller. Now it was pretty much doubted by the medical community, but as the years went by, some leading people started endorsing this guy. And this guy has no medical background, none. He was like a clairvoyant. So he starts writing this book, and he talks about this autoimmunity. And he says something very interesting. He said, if there's one thing in common that we have with cancer and autoimmune diseases, it's inflammation. It's always inflammation. And inflammation is in the gut. And that's why most of these things start in the gut. Well, inflammation is the problem. It's all kinds of issues. What he said about inflammation, when he defined it, changed the way many people think. Me, for sure. He said that inflammation is not your body going haywire. Inflammation is not the result of a disease or an illness. Inflammation is always either an injury, you fall on the ice, you're going to have inflammation, or the body's response to a foreign invader. Isn't that wonderful? A foreign invader. Well, that's it. These things aren't taught in medical and pharmacy school. Heavy metals, toxins, radiation, pesticides. They're all over the place, folks. Okay? We're starting to hear a little bit about the problems with this Roundup. This is a problem. Okay, and Americans are completely dumbed down on this because it never makes the media, it never makes the New York Times. But how can it be that 13 to 15 countries in Europe that live just like Americans do have banned GMO, have banned Monsanto, have banned Roundup, and Americans don't even know about it? 90% of the rainwater has Roundup in it. Did you see the report 2 weeks ago? The Napa Valley, okay, that breadbasket out there in California where we get all our wines from. 95% of almonds come from it. The groundwater is 90% contaminated, mostly Roundup. So every American wine, period, has Roundup in it, glyphosate. Well, now you see these lawsuits coming out. I can't believe that Bayer bought this crazy company, Monsanto, but now they've got like 16,000 lawsuits against them, and the first 3 went for like $200 million. So it's an issue. We're just saying there's no investigation on how these things affect our health. So I call myself an integrative practitioner. What does that mean? Well, I like a fusion of natural medicine, nutrition, and frequency with allopathic medicine. I like to focus on education for people, informed self-care, and I think that they can play a larger role with physicians in helping with overall health. Now here's a theory that came out. Now, if all of us 100 years ago today, in 1919, were walking in front of Shadyside Hospital, it was the Pittsburgh Homeopathic Hospital. Why? Because back then they didn't have very many drugs. They had aspirin, they probably had Dilantin, maybe they had insulin. But, of course, they embraced things like homeopathy, which I still use quite a bit in my practice. They looked at herbs, they were using cannabis, and they were using lots of other alternatives. What happened? Well, what happened was the reductionist thing came out around the 1930s and 1940s. And I'm not saying it's a good or bad thing, but who took over medicine in the 30s? Rockefellers. It became a business, a big business. I'm not judging the effects of it. We have some great things, what we do with drugs and certainly with surgery, but it became a business. So all these things were thrown out. Sometimes the people need to change things. This fellow from Vietnam, I mean, I was in the Vietnam era too, and I had a low draft number. I was in the 71 draft, I had number 17. I did have a college deferment, and I went to 5 years, and when I graduated, the war was pretty much over. But I can't believe that our generation and demonstrations didn't do some good to get that war ended. Well, it's the same sort of thing with this. This whole movement in our country about cannabis from the people, I think is quite positive. I've never done marijuana, but I think cannabis is one of the healing plants in the world. And I think if you have cancer, you should try cannabis. Now there's a difference between CBD, which is pretty available now. You can go in the stop and, in 7-Eleven and get it these days. And of course the THC, which is you go to the clinics for. But it is a very healing plant. So you see how people can change things, and I think that's positive, because we need to change things. I was thinking of the FDA. Of course, I've worked with them as a pharmacist and a doctor a long time. Now, the FDA has these classifications of narcotics, right? C5 is kind of like just a little codeine. So you used to get a cough syrup with codeine. That's not so bad. C2, which is one never can refill, is things like Percocet, Percodan, OxyContin. Okay, remember we lose OxyContin every year as much as we've lost Vietnam boys, 50 to 60,000 every year in America, OxyContin. It's by far the biggest medical problem in our country. Number two, antibiotic resistance. We've got too many bugs that are getting resistant, just like the crops need stronger pesticides. Well, that's a real problem too. But anyway, so we have that drug, Vicodin, things like that. That's C2. Now C1 are illegal. Heroin, mescaline, marijuana. Now can you believe that marijuana is still considered more dangerous than OxyContin? These people don't change things, okay? I can't say why that happens, but I get a feeling there's a big influence by the drug companies there. But having marijuana as a class 1 is just unbelievable. Right, so here's the canon of healthcare. Now this was one cause, one disease, one treatment. A bacteria is a bacteria is a bacteria. This was mostly from the father of medicine, Louis Pasteur, in the 1800s. That's what he said. And medicine today still believes that a bacteria is a bacteria, But something came along to change that. Not here, but mostly in Europe, I see. And it was the contemporary. He was a pharmacist. His name was Bechamps. Bechamps says, no, no, no. A bacteria is not a bacteria. A bacteria will morph, shapeshift from a low valence to a high valence. Bacteria to viruses, to molds and funguses, problems. Bacteria is pretty easy to take care of. These other buggers aren't. On his deathbed, supposedly, Louis Pasteur said, I was wrong, Bechamps was right. So this is the kind of medicine I practice because I think that this medicine has to do with homeopathy, but other things, is pretty effective. One of the guys I admire most as an MD and also as a researcher is this guy Klinghardt. He's up in Seattle. He wrote a paper recently, said, if a bacteria is the mosquito in the room, a virus is like the mouse in the room. But parasites and molds can be like elephants in the room. And I'm telling you, we see it a lot. We hear about Lyme disease all the time. This is a great shape-shifting issue. Yes, it's a bacteria starting out. And I do think people should take doxycycline for 2 or 3 weeks because it's a bacteria, it might kill it up. But it shapeshifts, and it goes into a spirochete. And a spirochete is like a parasite. And if this parasite gets into the brain, that's why some of these Lyme problem people have big problems months and years down in their line, because nothing past the antibiotic has been approved or suggested by the medical community. Absolutely nothing. How many years have we been dealing with this? It's sort of like, and then they give people long-term antibiotics. That's the worst thing to do, because 6 or 8 months down the road, your whole gut gets wiped out and people get C. diff. You know what C. diff is? You have constant diarrhea for like a year. You have to be on vancomycin, which costs you like $1,000 a dose. And I've seen a number of cases of it. So we have to be careful of that, and it just amazes me that we haven't seen anything. In fact, I wrote a paper recently, and it says, viruses everywhere. Why don't we have treatments for viruses? We don't. We have antibiotics that are great against bacteria, even though the age of antibiotics is slowly done because these bugs are getting more resistant. We see it all the time. But viruses, there's all kinds of viruses. The only drug on the market for viruses is for shingles. They might give you a drug for 10 or 12 days. That's about it. There's vaccines for it, but there's no other drugs for it. And there's 60 different types of viruses over there. I see echovirus a lot. I see cytomegalovirus. Lots of these kids have mono when they're 19 and 20. They're dead tired. They go to the doctors, well, there's nothing we can do for you. Go home and rest. So these things can stay in your body a long time. So I think viruses are big problems. I mean, if we look at Ebola, we read about this in Africa. It's a virus. But other than waiting for the drug companies to create a vaccine, is there anything else these people can do? Well, there isn't. Nothing that we know of. Can they take this? Can they take that? Can they try a vitamin? We don't know anything else. We're just waiting for the vaccine. Well, that's not a lot of hope to these people. But that's, again, virus issues. So we're trying to look beyond the toolbox for cancer. I don't want to talk a lot about cancer, but surgery, radiation, chemo has been called the standard of care. I'm not judging that. I think in some cases it really works. But, to go beyond that, to look at nutrition, and we're going to talk about alkalinity real quick, and even trying something like CBD or something like that certainly makes sense to me. So micronutrients and macronutrients, that's what we're made of. Macronutrients, water, proteins, carbs, and fats. Everybody knows that. Micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, phytochemicals, which are in plants. So yes, we need to eat right, we need to exercise, rest, toxic load. That's something we don't talk too much about. I was at this conference 2 years ago in Phoenix, and the guy who was speaking was the head of the HIV clinic in San Francisco. He looked like Einstein to me. He looked like an old guy. He got up and he said something I remember. He said, you know, there's 3 things we really need for health. We need oxygen. Well, that's pretty obvious. We need oxygen. We need to absorb our nutrients in an alkaline environment. Remember, we have to eat food, absorb the nutrients, get rid of the waste. If we're not going to be around very long. And the third thing, of course, is detoxification. How do we get rid of waste? Nobody talks about these. Okay, outside of oxygen, nobody talks about these in any schools that I know of. And this is the microbiome, and this is why we're going to talk about it, because it's incredibly important. You know, think about like, the strategy of a football team. The football team wants to attack the weakest part of their opposition, right? They're weak on the right side, left side. Well, that's exactly the same connotation we want to think of when bacteria and viruses get into our body. It'll attack the weakest organ, and it does. I mean, I have a theory about cancer. I'm like, why does somebody get colon cancer, and somebody gets prostate cancer, and somebody gets liver cancer? I mean, there's all these kind of cancers. How do we differentiate? Well, of course, nobody knows, but we have a treatment for cancer. So logically, I don't know what to say, except maybe the cancer, whatever it is, bacteria, mold, fungus, could be any of those things, it attacks the weakest organ. And that's why you see it differentiate like that. So I do think reducing toxic load is so important. And let me tell you the easiest way to reduce toxic load. Okay, number 1, it doesn't cost you a penny. Drink water, exercise, and sweat. It's a good thing to come to this gym and do that. That's number 1. Number 2, super greens. Spirulina, blue-green algae, chlorella, kale, cabbage. These super greens, nobody's going to argue they're the healthiest foods on the planet. Of course they are. We hope they're organic, not all the time. But they're like sponges, and they'll pull these toxins out. What's the worst toxin? Mercury, by far. Got to get them out slowly, okay? Third could be things like, there's a benefit of iodine. I like milk thistle was my favorite herb, glutathione, some other ones, MSM and so forth. So the whole aspect of detoxification is really important. And the fact that the medical profession came out like a year ago and said, they're thinking about banning any of these supplements that say detox because they've never defined detoxification. Isn't that amazing? They've never defined it. So they were thinking about banning it. I don't think they have yet, but it's a little scary because I think it's really important. All right, so let's get into the microbiome. What's the most important thing going on here? pH. You understand what I mean by alkalinity and acidity? It's the basis of life. If you think of nothing else in the body, it's that. There's only one thing God put in our body that's acidic. One thing, stomach acid. It's really acidic. So pH of stomach acid is about, what do I have there? 1.5, okay? What's more acidic than that? Hydrochloric acid, 1.0. If I take a drop, it'll go right through this table. So very acidic. So anything else in the body is a problem because the rest of the body is alkaline. The most important alkalinity is, of course, blood. Because blood gives nutrients and oxygen to every cell in the body. So if we get a glass of water, water is usually neutral. It's about 7.0. It's not too acidic. Above 7.0 is alkaline, below is acidic. So if you ask me what's the worst thing to put in your body that's legal, it's Coke and Pepsi. The only thing worse than that is Diet Coke, not Pepsi. Because I think there's aspartame's poison. And there's lots of things to read about it. I don't want to get into that today. But beer can be about 3.9, wine about 4.0. Meats are pretty acidic. Coffee's a little acidic. Okay, and it doesn't mean you have to be completely alkaline, because if you're too alkaline, that's a problem too. But 85% of Americans are too acidic. And the acid ends up here in the gut. Because, a couple reasons why. Remember, it needs to be in the stomach. It's a lot more acid to break down chicken versus an apple. The body needs more acid to do that. And the stomach is this big sac, completely protected. When I eat this food, It goes in the stomach for an hour, maybe and a half for chicken, or maybe 30 minutes for an apple, and it breaks it into a nice slush. And then the pylorus valve opens up at the bottom of the stomach, goes into the duodenum, through the small intestines, absorb the nutrients, get out of the race through the colon and rectum. That's the way life works. When the acid gets into the gut, weeds, problems. So the biggest problems we see with this is, number one, I hate to offend any doctors out there, but number one by far are these proton pump inhibitors. Effective drugs, yeah, they're really effective, but they're big problems long term. Protonics, omeprazole, these drugs, be careful with these drugs, folks. I know they work. And if you have heartburn and reflux, that can feel like a heart attack. We don't want anybody to suffer that. These drugs will. But the problem is that they're so effective, they're too effective. Because they block 90 to 95% of your stomach acid. Well, that's going to relieve heartburn and reflux. The problem is most of our gut is from the stomach down to the rectum. It's not from the stomach up. So the acid doesn't go away. The body produces acid every time you even put water in your mouth, let alone meat or vegetables. It produces acid because it has to break it down. So the acid leaches out of the stomach and goes into the gut. Weeds. And I'm telling you, these people, after months, they should try to go every other day, wean off slowly. If not, if they stay on them, their stomach becomes hypoacidic. It has to be. It's not hyperacidic anymore, it's hypoacidic. But the symptoms are the same. We don't treat hypoacidity. What really helps these guys, and we've heard this from the old timers, a little apple cider vinegar. Wonderful. Because it's a little acidic, and that's where you want it, back in the stomach. We need to be alkaline. The number one thing for alkalinity, and it costs you $2 a month, would be some baking soda. Remember when we were young, all those commercials for Alka-Seltzer? That's it. Only we don't want all the fizzy, because the fizzy's acidic. Why is wine and beer and Coke acidic? That's the best thing. Because the acid, which is phosphoric acid, kills bacteria. Why do we put chlorine in swimming pools? Because it's acidic, it kills bacteria. Well, we do want to kill the bacteria. We just don't want too much of the acidity. So this is what goes on. So the second thing is, of course, a lot of poor diet. A lot of acidic foods, especially the Coke drinkers and things like that, will actually dilute the acid in the stomach. And that acid will end up in the gut. Third, stress and emotions. You can have the world's best diet, but some people just pick stress bags, it's going to have the same effect. So when this acid gets into the gut, and we measure it a lot, it's called lactic acid. When lactic acid is high, the increased risk of inflammation is all over the place. The three bacteria that hang out in the gut the most, by far number one is H. pylori. Everybody has H. pylori, a little bit, but if we have really high H. pylori, you'd have ulcers. Strep, strep throat, strep hangs out. And number three would be E. coli. Now E. coli is usually related to fecal to mouth, so you can touch a doorknob, you can shake somebody's hand or something like that, and then you have this fecal stuff in your body. But anyway, they're the leading three. All three of those will proliferate and grow in a lactic acid environment. Arthritis. Don't believe these doctors who tell you, well, you're getting old, that's why you have arthritis. That's not why you're getting old, have arthritis. I'm not saying people don't beat up their body and play sports and heredity. I'm not doubting any of that. But the leading thing for arthritis is acid inflammation at the joints. And I've had people, when they get on certain homeopathics to get rid of that lactic acid, and the bacteria get into the joints and inflame, I don't have arthritis anymore. Well, of course you don't. I'm not saying, again, it can't be other things like weight and heredity and being in a car accident. Of course it can, but it's not the main thing. The main thing is acidity. So, reasons to avoid acid environment. Corrodes arteries. It really does. I think probably one of the main things that's clogging our arteries is not cholesterol. Cholesterol is an issue. It's not a main issue. And these drugs that work for cholesterol, they really work. They're very effective. They have a lot of baggage, folks. So be careful on the statin drugs. If you need it, take it. Try to get a lower dose. Because a lower dose will probably work as high as an upper dose. They make a 10, 20, 40, 80 in most of these. People on 80 milligrams, 80 should be for a horse or an elephant. I mean, they should take that off the market. It's way too strong. I've seen guys, 250-pound guys, and their cholesterol's pushed down to 110, 120. They have like no energy, they have no libido, their blood sugar goes up, and of course the big thing is they have myalgia muscles. God, I just hurt. It's not arthritis, it's her muscles. Well, that's what the drug does, because it actually depletes this enzyme called coenzyme Q. It's something that we lose as we age anyway. So if you're doing that, take CoQ10 and try to get into a lower dose. Oxidative stress. This is really important too, because we talk about detox. Oxidative stress is the new buzzword for free radicals. Okay? These unstable electrons in the environment, they're basically aging us. Think of it like I have an old car in the backyard, and sooner or later the wind and rain is going to rust that car. That's oxidation. That car is aging. Our bodies don't rust because we're not metal, but we oxidize. Okay? That's why we take antioxidants. Vitamin C, CoQ10, resveratrol, fruits and vegetables. There's no antioxidants in meat, milk, chicken, and eggs. There's protein, but no antioxidants. So the whole concept of oxidation is that. It's the aging process. So we can measure those things, but what we worry about, outside of what we eat, are these things like the pesticides, the toxins. I see Roundup in 6 out of 10 people. I don't know Roundup causes cancer, and I'm not saying that. But it's a foreign entity in the body. What happens now if we all got some fumes coming into the room, some toxic fumes, and we all breathe them in? What would the body do? Well, of course, the body would create white blood cells, okay? Like little Pac-Man. And they're going to go through your body, and they're going to grab this toxin, this bacteria, this virus. Why? Because they don't belong there. It's a foreign entity in the body. This is the new thinking. And it's really old thinking. So, as the body does this, we just got to get them out. We got to expel them. Go to the bathroom, make sure we're moving, and that can work to some degree. The problem is, as I was told by Dr. Rao and many others, there comes a time when the body, the cup overflows. Dr. Rao would say, think that there's a big barrel in your chest. Everything we bring in, our food, water, what we breathe in, then the waste has to go out the bottom. But when that barrel overflows, problems. This is when the body can no longer detox. What does the body do with it? It has to store it, because it can't get rid of it. Where does it store it? Not in blood. You're not going to find these things in blood. Liver, lymph, spleen, somewhere where it can store it. We really believe that a big percentage of breast cancer in women, when they find out they have a tumor in their breast, they had it for a couple years. They didn't pick it up 2 weeks ago on a doorknob. But that toxin is a place where the body might store this toxin. Maybe they're overexposed to something. Maybe it's radiation. I just had 3 patients 2 days ago from Neville Island all their life. The dad, 71, has ALS. That's the hardest treatment in the world, Lou Gehrig's disease. The mother had, and she's at 70, she had breast cancer, and now she has lymphoma, and the daughter, 21, had leukemia. Isn't that strange? How can anybody not pick up a connection there that maybe it was the toxins in the environment? Why did they all have 3 different things? I don't know. Maybe again, it attacked the weakest organ. We don't know for sure. So anyway, we talk about this gut issue. So I think we should all be taking a probiotic, folks. Even if you take it a couple times a week, it's effective. Eating yogurt is okay, it's just there's too much sugar, and it's a little bit of probiotics. And when you get on an antibiotic, sometimes we need one. We have an upper respiratory, you have pneumonia, take an antibiotic for a couple weeks, take extra probiotics with them. Because if you end up with C. diff and diarrhea, you got big problems. Energy reserves, DNA, we talked about that a little bit earlier. So, best ways to alkalize. Drink water, baking soda. Now, just 1 level teaspoon of baking soda costs you $2 to $3. Put it in 4 or 5 ounces of water, no ice cubes, so adhere to it. Make sure it's not, maybe lukewarm water. Stir it around, drink it. A couple times a week is fine. If you don't like the taste of it, add a lemon, because lemon's very alkaline too. So number 1 alkalinity, baking soda. But the most nutritious alkalinity is super greens. I take them every morning. Scoop of greens, roll it in, throw it in a little protein shake or a smoothie. It's good for you. Minerals are alkaline. Remember our chemistry? K plus is potassium, Mg plus is magnesium. That's the alkaline radical. We want that. We don't want the negative radical too much. Chlorine, Cl minus, right? We put in swimming pools, but we don't drink that stuff. So we want that positive. And lemons and limes, even though they're very bitter, they're very alkaline. They're fine. So let me just talk about some of these supplements, and then I'll be glad to take questions. So we all know about calcium. There's a lot of problems with mysteries about calcium. So I was getting back into what's clogging our arteries. Yes, cholesterol, minor. Major, calcium. Okay? Calcium will clump. If you look at a kidney stone, 80% of it, or 90% of it is calcium oxalate. There's a little fat and cholesterol thrown in or hold together. How did it get into the kidneys? You're leaching it out. Remember, when we're acidic, we don't hold minerals. This is the big issue with osteoporosis to some degree. You can take a bunch of calcium, but if you're not absorbing it in your bones, it's not doing you much good. Gallstones, kidney stones are problems. So we need calcium. We just need less of it. You know, they told all those ladies when they were young, drink milk all your life, take 1,500 milligrams of calcium. I heard it 1,000 times. Well, they've changed their mind because it's crazy to take that much calcium. Because calcium's a little constipating too. So, it depletes, as we say, this ratio, which I'm going to talk about next, is the most important. And I never use calcium carbonate, because that's oyster shell. So Oscal, Tums, it's just too constipated. It's not absorbed well. I like calcium citrate, comes from the ground, that's where all minerals come from. But I don't use carbonate. Plus carbonate is like oyster shell. So the oysters are bottom dwellers in the ocean. Toxins go to the bottom, they could be more toxic. My number one recommendation, magnesium. I wrote an article recently for Facebook and I said, what are the 5 leading nutrients we probably need in America because of the way we live and our diet? Not the most important, they're all important. By far, number 1 is magnesium. Number 2 was B12. Number 3 was a probiotic. Number 4 was vitamin D, sunshine. And number 5 was K2 for bones. But magnesium is my number 1 recommendation. I rarely have anybody leave my practice without getting some magnesium, especially the women. Because magnesium is not in a lot of the American foods that we eat. Some nuts, some super greens, one type of fish, some legumes, not real big on the American plate. But magnesium makes all the difference. I'm going to tell you a story, and it's a true story. I'm going to give a talk to this state pharmacy group next Saturday up at Seven Springs. And of course, they're all pharmacists, so they're thinking a certain way. But I'm going to tell them a story because it's a true story. It's about a 50-year-old guy goes into his doctor. The doctor says, your blood pressure's a little high. You better start you on some hydrochlorothiazide. Goes back a year later. Blood pressure's not getting any better. We're going to give you a beta blocker. 2 years later, he goes back. You know, your cholesterol's getting up there a little bit. We better start you on a statin drug. Then a year after that, now his blood sugar's up a little bit. We better start you on metformin. So 4 or 5 years go by, and this guy, 55 now, is on 5 or 6 drugs a day. At the beginning, he was just low in magnesium. So, it's true. I'm not saying it's true in all cases, but it's true in that case. So we see all these effects of magnesium. And magnesium works on muscles. Calcium goes to bones, B complex goes to nerve endings, but magnesium goes on all 3. So calcium without magnesium, I think, is a day without sunshine. But I like to get at least 50-50 ratio of both, maybe 400 milligrams of both. Remember, our heart is a big muscular organ. So when you relax muscles, that's a good thing. So magnesium is called nature's calcium channel block. Magnesium also helps with like restless legs and leg cramps. These ladies have them all the time. I'm telling you, magnesium solves that 70% of the time. Migraines and headaches, about 30-40% could be low magnesium. And I don't know of anything it interferes with, but there is a downside, of course. There's a downside to everything. Who is it? Aristotle that says the difference between medicine and poison is dosage. Well, that's true. So if you get too much magnesium, you're going to have diarrhea. If you take too much calcium, you'll be constipated. But you know how many women, and I'm telling you this, hundreds and hundreds of women see me and say, gee, Dr. Dan, you gave me that magnesium before bed and I just sleep better. I said, because it relaxes your muscles. It doesn't make you drowsy. Oh, I move my bowels so much better in the morning. Wonderful. Just don't take too much. Well, you have blue stools, right? There we go. I think vitamin C is our most important vitamin. There's 3 nutrients that we don't get from nature, that God didn't give us, that we have to get somewhere from our diet when we're born. Vitamin C, omegas, and iron. So we need vitamin C. And vitamin C is so essential, I don't know what to say, except, there's been some negative effects on that. And too much, again, is a problem. Vitamin C is very water soluble. So if you take too much of it, you're going to have diarrhea. When I was in Nigeria once, Bob, I went out jogging one morning. You know what the pollution's like. I mean, there's no catalytic converters in Nigeria. There's just car pollution everywhere. And I was jogging a lot, and I jogged maybe, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I was so full of, just breathing in the air, like my chest. So I took a big scoop of vitamin C and just helped get that out. So vitamin C has a good positive effect. So good to form red blood cells, free radicals, we talked about that. That's the oxidative stress issue. And I think all patients with allergies and asthma need a little bit of vitamin C. Vitamin C should come a little bit before they take things like Singulair, which is helpful, or even taking a lot of Claritin and Allegra. If you take more vitamin C, you'll need less of those drugs. D's kind of the big thing, because about 7-8 years ago, they started measuring vitamin D in your blood test. And they never did before that. And they found out 80% of women, especially, were low in vitamin D. Why? Well, maybe because 20 years ago they told these ladies to stay out of the sun or you're going to get skin cancer. Well, maybe that's it. But the problem is that's where you get vitamin D from. You don't get too much in food. You get some D3, D2 from fish, but when we live in Pittsburgh in the northern hemisphere, we're not getting a heck of a lot of vitamin D at all. Vitamin D becomes very important. Yeah, not too much, because it's fat soluble, but we find that it's really protective for a lot of things. B complex, I just mentioned. I thought probiotics are helpful for everybody. I think we need enzymes sometimes. This enzymes help 3 things: break down fats and proteins, which is harder to break down than simple carbs. Gastric emptying, you don't want the food sitting in the stomach too long, and just general digestion. I mentioned CoQ10 already, and I think the fatty acids are kind of good. They're heart healthy, they lower inflammation, they help balance hormones. The only thing about omegas today is it's not the fish, it's the water they swim in that I worry about sometimes. And I'm not going to get into iodine very much. Folks, I published my first book 2 years ago. It's on Amazon, but I've got copies here if anybody would like to purchase one. It's called A Consumer's Guide to Interpreting Your Blood Work, How to Read It, and Natural Ways to Improve It. Now, everybody knows their cholesterol and their blood sugar levels, of course, and that's fine. But if you had a blood work and you looked at it and you said, what's going on with my eosinophils, or why is my MCV high, or what's going on with my lipase? Nurses and PAs are too busy to sit down and talk about it. You can go on the internet and say, why do I have high lipase? And it'll tell you. But the reason I wrote the book, even though I explain those things, I said, what are some natural ways you can improve your blood work? This is what my research was. Maybe you need more magnesium. Maybe you should try turmeric or curcumin. Maybe you need to eat foods with more red beets with more iron in them. And I even put in there the essential oils, because my wife and I do essential oils. I think God's gift to the planet is frankincense. It's wonderful. So I think I'll take questions at this point, because it's about 10:02, and thanks for your attention. Can I stimulate any questions?
Yeah, one of the big questions, how much is your book?
Well, if you get on Amazon, it's like it's $10. Just $10. I go over 150 different blood tests and talk about highs, lows,
Use the other
false
mic.
lows, ways to improve it, things like that.
Use the other mic.
You haven't said that much about
Oh, the mic.
milk, good or bad. And if you're going to get a vitamin, what's a good thing to get? I mean, I see this advertised about seniors should get this Centrum or what have you. What's the best?
That's the best question I get, and I get it a lot, and that's a very relevant question. How do you know? Should I get GNC or ABC or XYZ or whatever? And here's my answer, okay? Who do you trust? You go into your doctor, he says, well, I like this brand, your pharmacist, you might tend to trust that one, but you don't know. Okay? So there are machines, and I use this machine a lot, and if anybody's interested in making an appointment, my office is right up in the North Hills, in Wildwood, Allison Park. You can measure those things. Now, have you heard of kinesiology? Muscle testing. Chiropractors do it sometimes. If I said to any of you guys, I say, put out your arm, make it really strong, And I said, what's your name again? You lied to me and said Joe, you'd be weak because you knew your lie. And it works 95% of the time. So you can take a vitamin, put it in your energy field, and 3 vitamins, and you can test it, and they do it a lot, and it works. But there's bias to it, of course. Okay? So if you didn't sleep well last night, your energy could be down. I'm the practitioner, maybe I'm having a bad day. That'll affect the test. How do you know if vitamin A is plus 10%, the other one's plus 20%, one's plus 8%? The machine will tell you, take the 20%, it's better for you. Why? Well, we don't care why. It just is. If you guys say to me, hey Dan, I really like symphony music more than rap music, why? Because symphony music's favorable to your frequency. You like it. You don't like rap music. One's not better than the other. It's just music. Because a rapper would say, I hate symphony music. I rap. What does your body tell us? So that's the new science. And the new science is frequency energy medicine. That's what I do now. It's big in Europe. There's thousands of these machines in Europe. There's probably not a dozen in America. It's not illegal. It's just a little bit under the radar because it's not FDA approved. It's like old Reich machines. But you can measure those things. And I'm just telling you how accurate it is. It can't tell you you have a tumor, that what your cholesterol is, if you have pain. It's looking at the frequencies of organs. Okay? Because just like, how do we know everybody in this room has a different voice? Because it's a different frequency. How does a million cell phones find each other? They're different frequencies. How do I tell music? It's a frequency. The technology is frequencies are measurable. That's all I can tell you. I still can't figure out when I was a kid, and anywhere I had that transistor radio, I picked up that station. Like, how does that work? I have no idea. But you can pick up your cell phone and talk to China and California and do your banking. I have no idea. The frequencies are all over the place. So the technology is these things are measurable. It's amazing. So you can measure those things. And it's quite accurate. Nothing's 100%. I would never say anything's 100%. But, you can, if you came in and said, well, my doctor told me I have rheumatoid arthritis, well, maybe you do or maybe you don't. The problem is in medicine too, and this is again orthodoxy, we're all trained that way, is because the body has no opinion. Okay? We're all into this right and wrong. If I said to you, well, do you think organic food's higher energy than junk food? Say, yeah, I agree with that. Your body would say, I don't have an opinion. I just want the higher energy, give me the organic food. It's just food. It's just music. The body's looking for the highest energy. So I'm looking at your blood work and I say, gee, your blood sugar's shooting up. Maybe you're pre-diabetic. Well, maybe you are. What does that mean? It means what you define it to mean. Your A1C is high, your blood sugar's high, maybe you're diabetic. Your pancreas would say what? Well, I don't know what diabetes is. We made that word up. Of course we made the word up. It means nothing. It's very valuable as far as treatment and diagnosis, but it means nothing to the body. The body would say what? There's an imbalance. Well, why is there an imbalance? I don't know. It could be heredity, it could be heavy metals, it could be toxins, it could be your diet. The bleeding thing seems to be emotions. Well, this is what we're measuring now, okay? We're not curing anything. We're not curing a common cold, we're not curing cancer, we're not curing depression. We're balancing organs. And when organs are balanced, they function more optimally. That's all we can say. Because cure means nothing to the body. I don't know what cure means. Yes, sir?
What do you know about peptides?
Peptides. Well, not a lot. That's a chemistry issue. So I took a lot of chemistry in school. I never liked chemistry too much, but not sure on peptides. So I think that has to do with proteins, doesn't it? Protein things. Well, protein is such an important. We talked about the 3 macronutrients, and protein's one of them. I think we get too much protein as a species or as Americans, and I think we have to be careful on too much protein. The body needs protein. The body needs complex carbs. The body needs fats. But there's certain ratios. They're not the same for everybody. Not everybody likes the same music. And to think everybody eats the same diet, that's ridiculous. When I'm in the jungle, I eat mangoes and papayas, but here I eat apples and oranges. That's just what it is. It's not a right or wrong thing. So I would never recommend one diet to anybody because I don't believe in diets. I believe in alkalinity. Everybody's into the keto diet and whatever diet. I say, well, I don't know. I guess the best middle-of-the-road diet, if you ask me, would probably be the Mediterranean diet because, they seem to have lower cholesterol, they're thinner, and they live a little longer, and they walk to the market every day. But that's just my opinion. Yes, sir?
2 questions.
Yeah.
Question number 1. You list aspirin as one of the depletions. Does that include low-dose aspirin?
Yeah, I think it does on some products. I think low dose aspirin has a big advantage. I don't think people should be on 325 at 81. But you know, there's a lot of negative reports out now about, do we really need aspirin?
Okay.
Well, I'm not judging that, maybe 3 times a week, huh?
Second question. You're a big proponent of magnesium.
Absolutely.
We get magnesium over the counter at the local drugstore.
Okay.
How do we know how much is too much?
Well, you know, that's a good question. And again, everything's dose related. Somebody who has taken a certain drug, like a blood pressure drug, so, you know, I do a whole lecture on drug nutrient depletion. So it doesn't matter what the drug is, even if it's helping us, like a blood pressure pill, it'll deplete magnesium, number one, maybe essential oils, maybe potassium, maybe calcium. So we have to really garner that. And if you think you can get all these nutrients in the American diet, good luck. It's just not happening. I mean, if you don't think we have pesticides and herbicides and preservatives in our diet, I mean, look what our kids are going through. They're having high cholesterol at 19 years old now. So our diet's really suspect. And don't wait for the government to save us on that. It's not going to happen. Okay? It just ain't going to happen. So I'd say a good multivitamin makes sense because you're kind of covering the bases. You're not going to get enough magnesium, vitamin C, and a multiple vitamin. It still covers the bases. So my 5 recommendations would be a good multi, CoQ10, magnesium, omega, and antioxidant, probably something like that. Okay? Just as a general one.
There was a guy on YouTube that was talking about going to the Amazon for fungus on your toenails and stuff. He's got some kind of cure for this other than what the doctors are doing. You have any information on that?
That's a relevant thing because, you know, HIV people, they can die from the fungal infections that they get. And of course, some of the drugs that we take, even if these antiretroviral drugs, antibiotics, they really promote fungus. Fungus is not something we're looking for. Fungus hangs around a long time. If you were in gym in high school, like I was, and picked up athlete's foot, that's a fungus. You're gonna have it forever. It's dormant, maybe for decades, but you're gonna have it. It stays in the body. So what's the best general thing you can do for that, even though there's a lot of treatments? I would say, I mentioned that frankincense is God's gift to the planet because it's the most healing of essential oils. But the master essential oil is oregano. Antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, antiparasitic. No other oil can do that. So with a little bit, it's pretty good. So you can put it in your food, you can put it on the bottom of your feet, the liquid, you can take capsules. I like oregano. But there are specific homeopathics we can give. There's a lot of different funguses out there. The most common would be candida, which, you know, women take an antibiotic, babies too, and they get thrush, you see white in their tongue. That's because they killed off all the good bacteria in their gut. They need probiotics sometimes too, but I think there's a lot of other common. The nastiest one I see is black mold. That's nasty, and that's like the basement has water in it, and it's growing on the walls. I don't care if you sleep on the 4th floor, you're gonna have this mold in your body. This is problems, and I'm just telling you, these people have big immune problems, and they're never getting diagnosed except God knows what they're telling them they have, this and that. But mold's pretty nasty. It's not easy to get out. I think of mold like rust on a car, okay? Well, you know, I have this old car, it's pretty rusty, it still runs, it doesn't run really efficiently, and I can't just wipe off the rust. That's the way mold is in the body.
Okay, we done?
Yeah. Thanks,
Okay,
folks.
thank you.